All right, guys, it is Friday, February 23. It's 11 a.m. on the West Coast. I am finished trading for the day and quite a bit to talk about, but I'm going to try to keep it much shorter than yesterday. It was a good day for me, though, despite, as you can see, I did blow one evaluation today, but I'll get into that and talk about why that did not bother me at all today. Completely fine. I did also pass an evaluation. So that was great. I will have three PAs starting on Monday. And I also got some profits on my two current PA accounts. So things are going in a good direction because I got 8 trades today. I think I got 7 trades yesterday. And the main thing that I've done that's really changing things is I'm really starting to trust my system, and I'll get into explaining my system a little bit today so that anyone that's watching one of my reviews for the first time will have a little bit of understanding of what I'm doing. I'm not going to show you how I do it or exactly what I'm doing because I'm not trying to teach anyone how I'm trading. I'm just showing and documenting my journey and what I'm trying. I'm just a regular guy trying to figure out the best way to trade futures on prop firms and hopefully make some money, be profitable, and hopefully find some success as I move into the future doing this. So let me get into all that in a minute. Apex is still running their 90% discount on their evaluations. You could use this code or any other. The 90% discount runs through this Sunday night at midnight, and then it'll change over to 80% discount for, I'm not sure how much longer, but for some amount of time going into next week. And then there's also a 1-day pass promo being run right now where you can pass any evaluation, old or new, that's active, that you know, if you get to the target in as little as one single day, you pass. You could take as long as you want, or you could do it in 1 day, however you like. So 90% discount, it has been their best discount they've ever run. They haven't done it in about 3 months. And so definitely the best time to pick it up is now, even though it's going to be the weekend now. You know, you buy your accounts for 90%. It's good for a month. And then if you need extra time, it will renew at 80% for the following month, which is still the next best deal they offer anyway. So it's really the best thing to do, even if you didn't pick any accounts up today to trade with today. It's good for next week and the weeks to come for the following month. All right. So having said all that, you can also check out my live streams every day on somewhere around 9:45 a.m. on the East Coast to 12:30 on the East Coast. And lately I've been trading a bit later, mainly because of these promos. For me, it's I'm on the West Coast, so it's 6:45 a.m. to 9:30, and then like today I traded till about 10:30 or so. Good day for me today. Good week for me. It's really a glimpse into what might be possible for me with the strategy. And the things I'm thinking about are high win rate. So for the week, I was 84%, and the volume of trades, and 16-3, by the way. But so the volume of trades, 19 trades for the week. And putting things in perspective, there was a holiday on Monday, so there was no trading for me on Monday this week. And on Tuesday, I actually had a flat day and didn't take any trades. On Wednesday, I kind of changed things up, and instead of applying my kind of filters to my trades that I've been doing, where I look for things like a good signal bar and look to be with trend mostly, and not trade after an inside bar, just things like that. I decided to really lean into my system now and just throw all the rules away, and I'm just now going with the performance of my charts. And so I will get into explaining that in a few minutes here. But let me continue with just the review of how the day went. So I was 7-1 today, And my very first trade, I took on evaluation 22, which, so now that they're having this promo, let me talk about this. Now that they're having this promo, 1 day to pass, 90% sale, I have 4 evaluations that are renewing on Tuesday, between Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So 4 evaluations to renew at 80% discount would be approximately $120, slightly over. So because of the promo, if I were to not renew those accounts and just buy brand new accounts under the 90% deal, I will save half the cost. It'll be about 60% for the same number of accounts. So, I mean, I could literally get 4 extra accounts for the price that I was about to spend on the 4 renewals. So already in my mind was I need to trade these accounts more aggressively. I don't want to renew them for 80%. I'd rather just buy new accounts on Sunday before the discount is over and replace those accounts. So my whole thing today is I was ready and willing to either pass the eval or blow up the eval that I played today. So I actually had only 3 active accounts evaluations that apply to this, because one of the evaluations that I'm talking about is already blown up. And so this evaluation number 28 is going to renew next week. And so I've already gone into the dashboard on Apex and canceled it so that it won't renew. And I'll replace this one with a 90% discount. So in this case, on a 25K account, instead of spending $30, I'll spend 15, and it'll be a different numbered account, but it'll just replace this one. It'll just be a swap for half the price. So that's why the deal is so great, because going from 80% to 90% literally makes the cost of each account half of what it was at 80%. So definitely worth managing your accounts, thinking about it. And so today, I started the day off at, like I was saying, with account 22. I got my first win. My first trade was a win. I then added on the copier evaluation or PA number 2 and evaluation 22 to be traded at the same time. And I got a win on my second trade, which is what gave me this amount here. And then I turned off PA2. I switched to PA6 and kept evaluation 22 going again. And so I got another win, which was the third win on evaluation 22, which passed that evaluation. So I got the win on PA6 and 22 on that third trade, made $152 on PA6, and made a total of $934 today on the evaluation to pass it. PA2, as you can see, I made 132. And then I moved on to evaluation 29. Now, 29... or no, actually, that's wrong. Then I moved on to evaluation 23. And 23, my first trade I took on it, I got a win. Because of my mentality of pass or fail, I made an adjustment to the trade that it actually would have lost. But I moved my stop for a reason, and I'll talk about it. And so it turned into a win. And then the second trade I took on it went right against me right after I entered, and I moved the stop way far out of the way to make sure that it was going to be pass or fail. And something funny happened with this account that I'll talk about in a little bit, but the auto liquidate never happened. So if you take a look at the number here, it's pretty funny. It says I lost $10,000 on the account, and my 50,000 account is now worth 40,000. So that shouldn't happen. You only have a $2,500 drawdown. So I'll discuss that, but it's funny. I might as well talk about it now. It's funny. I've never thought that I would lose $10,000 on any account that I have and be able to laugh at it and not be upset from the loss or blowing the account, or the fact that I lost, supposedly $10,000. It's just a sim account, right, on the evaluation. But I actually had to leave the chart and go get my daughter up and ready for school. So when this was happening, the trade was going against me. It wasn't taking me out of the account on Apex. And if I had actually left it just running, I would have come back later and it would have ended up coming all the way back and probably would have got the win since it never executed an auto liquidate. But because I had to walk away, I took myself out of the trade. I let it hit a stop. So it would have been interesting to see what would have happened, but I don't think they would have passed the account, even if I passed it. It was a little disappointing because the first trade, after the first trade, I was up 1,500 on the account. And so I only had halfway to go. I only needed another 1,500. So it was a little disappointing that it blew up, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal because, like I just talked about, I'm just going to be replacing it for half price. This account was going to renew. If I wasn't trading the way I was trading, which was to almost trade max contracts, I traded 8 contracts per trade on this account. And if I wasn't trading that way, then I wouldn't have been anywhere close anyways. So it was kind of an all or nothing, because when you're trading that many contracts, pretty much one trade goes against you. It's basically blowing your account. If you put your stop in the right place, you might survive one trade, but then you'll have no drawdown for the next trade anyway. So there's no point. So I did blow that account. I lost, the $33 that I spent on the evaluation on it. Not the 10,000 it says I lost here, but just $33. So no reason to feel bad about that. It's funny to see these numbers, 10,000, but always keep in mind, if you lose an evaluation, it's $33. It's not a big deal. So then I moved on to evaluation 29. And you can see I am now at 51,190. I took two trades on it today with max contracts, not max because you can trade 10 contracts, but I traded 8 contracts, made 1,051. The account doesn't renew till Wednesday, so my kind of rough game plan is to try to pass it on Monday or Tuesday, and I'll probably buy a 90% discount evaluation as a just in case I blow it up. So, I really want to keep it just 10 accounts, which is what I have. I have 2 PAs currently, 1 evaluation turning into a PA, so I have 3, and then so I'll have 7 evaluations when I buy the new ones for the 90%. But this is the one account where I have a little bit of a dilemma because I might pass it and it could become a PA. In which case, if I replace it with an evaluation or buy a 90% off evaluation, then I'll have 1 extra evaluation or 1 extra account. I'll have 11 accounts instead of 10. But that's fine. I'll just do that. Because if I do blow it up, and there's a reasonable chance that I could blow it up, then I'll still be at 10, and that's where I want to be. I want to keep the 10 because I'm going to start trading this way more often, and that's the next thing I really just want to talk about before I show the trades. Is today I had 8 trades, and I literally, it's basically what I'm doing here for anyone that doesn't know is hasn't been following me this year. Is my system now is I start my day looking for 3 or 4 charts that are different size tick charts on the NQ. And I just look for charts where my target is reached on every entry. I'm looking for charts that consistently are working, regardless of how good the setup looks or not, just regardless of any kind of rule you can imagine, including what the signal bar looks like. Just if there's a second entry and it worked for the target that I go for, then that's the chart that I want to use. So I try to start my day with charts that have all no losses, or at the very minimum, like 1 loss early in the overnight session, but then all good trades or good entries otherwise. And so I'll try to get 3 or 4 of those charts, and those are the charts I trade off of. And what I'm finding is when I'm removing my rules and just going with the chart, I can often have more trades for one each day than I typically would ever get. And over the course of the day, I may run into a loss here or there, but for the most part, I'm going to have generally a lot more wins than losses. And so far, I'm finding, I can mostly go, 6-1, 7-1. There might be days where I can go 8-0, 9-0, 10-0. There might be days where I, go 5-2, or, it might happen early. And but I'm willing to take a loss, because how I'm moving forward now is I'm going to be, once I get past this, promo period, my plan is to trade one account at a time. So the past couple of weeks, there have been times where my first trade has been a loss. So I'm going to start with an evaluation. I'll trade it, get the win. I'll turn off the evaluation. I'll go to a PA. I'll trade it, win or loss. I'll go to the next account, trade it, win or loss, go to the next account, trade it, win or loss. And I'll just cycle through all of my accounts. And once I've gone through all the accounts, well, if I have 10 accounts, hopefully I can trade each one of them for the whole day. If I don't get to everyone, that's okay. Like today, I would have only gotten through 8 accounts if I was trading exactly that way. But because of the promo, I was trying to pass accounts. So that's kind of the concept going forward. So in theory, I should be able to cycle through almost 10 accounts every day. And if I get a loss, it'll only happen on maybe 1 or 2 of the accounts. But meanwhile, I'll be furthering my progress on all the other accounts every day. And so the loss will get kind of distributed, hopefully in somewhat of an even way, where if I get a loss like I did yesterday on PA2, well, the next day and the next day and the next day, the odds of me getting a loss on it again are much smaller, since I'm cycling through accounts. They're going to be random. The losses are going to be randomly distributed between the accounts. So that's the idea and concept. And already I'm only about $240 or so behind where I was before I took my loss on this account yesterday. So I think that generally says what I'm doing. So it really just makes my trading day a whole lot easier. I'm not analyzing. I'm not drawing trend lines. I'm not picking and choosing because of this or that reason. I'm literally just going to take every trade I can possibly take. Sometimes trades happen at the same time on 2 different charts. And so I try to take the first one that's going to happen, essentially. And then I won't take the ones on the other charts because they're happening concurrently. And yeah, that's kind of the concept behind it. And it's pretty new. So, this week I went 16-3 in 19 trades in a 4-day week, and I only got trades on 3 of the days. So I think I can average probably closer to 20 trades a week from now on. Last week I was 10-1 using some rules. So I think I can pretty much double the rate of trades that was on the high end of my trading weeks. And so that is the plan, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think this gives me a real opportunity to really start making progress on these accounts, because what was happening before was I was only getting 2 or 3 trades a week before I really started this system. And, if you get one loss, it would take a number of days to recover the loss. And I just wasn't getting enough trades. I think to do the Apex game in the best way possible requires a larger volume of trades dispersed across all the accounts. I really think that's going to get me to the promised land. That's my game plan. We'll see if it happens. And, if you want to see if I get there, you can like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Follow me on my journey. I've yet to get a payout yet. So these accounts, especially PA2, is my best chance currently for my first payout. So I'm about 900 away now. The closest this account has been is been about 600. I also had 4 other PA accounts that I blew up at the end of last year. And I was actually within one trade multiple times last year of qualifying for a payout. And before I was able to make it happen, things went against me and I ended up blowing up 4 accounts. And I think I was close to a payout 4 times, like multiple times on the same PA accounts in a couple of cases. So I haven't made it happen yet, but I think I'm now using the best strategy I've been using yet to have a chance to do it. So, wow, we're 20 minutes in and I haven't even shown my 8 trades yet. Quickly before I do that, just running down the numbers again, 7 and 1 for the day, 88%. For the week, 16 and 3, so 84%. And I'm now 85 and 20. So another, in terms of talking about volume of trades, 81%, but I'm over 100 trades, 105 trades in the first 2 months of my trading. So I'm averaging over 50 trades a month. There were a number of holidays and things, missed days. I had a missed day. I had a couple of sick days where I didn't trade full sessions, had some flat days where I didn't take any trades, and I'm over 100 trades. So just everything is showing me like I'm on the right path now. I feel like I'm finally on the right path, and it's just a matter of seeing if this plays out in the way I imagine it will. And there's always a chance it won't, right? So I'm just going to show it all here on YouTube. I don't take any trades off YouTube. The only trades I take are the trades when I'm streaming, and I show all my accounts at all times, my balances, everything. And I'll, if I ever get a payout, I'll show as much as I can. I am a bit of a private person, so I don't like to show too much of myself, but all the things that I can show to just show this journey I'm on. I'm just a regular guy trying to figure it out and wanting to figure out how to make some extra money on the side and hopefully find some success with this that can hopefully, bring a good amount of money in over my future. So having said all that, let's take a look at some of these trades, and hopefully you have an idea of what I'm trying to do and why I'm saying that, I'm excited about this glimpse into what might be possible with the strategy. I just think that, now that I'm actually getting a lot of trades for the first time in my futures trading career, it's how many of these losses do randomly arrive before I get enough wins to either pass or qualify for payouts, and it's kind of a numbers game at that point. So we'll see how it plays out. Let me take all this stuff off the screen and I'll show you my trades, and I'll talk a lot about just why there's no reason why I took the trade other than it was an entry on a winning chart, and I took the trade and it won. That will be a lot of the reasons why. And you'll see how bad these trades look for someone that's trading price action, I think, especially if you came from the world where I came from, learning from Mac how he trades his price action trading system on PATS. You're always like searching for trades using that system and being very discerning, and you only get a couple of trades here and there. That's all out the window. The trade has to look perfect for that system. The trade doesn't have to look perfect here. It can look like a terrible trade and I can still get a win with it. So let me get this stuff off the screen and let's take a look. All right, I actually just realized that I had my second chart up. This isn't the chart where I took my first trade. So let me change it over to the first chart I traded on, which was here. And you can see this is the live market now. And so let's see here. I started about 6:45 or so in the morning. So I think I was somewhere around here is when I started. And literally, like I was just talking about, I came into the day telling myself today's the day where I pass at least one evaluation. And if I blow up the others, that's fine. But I wanted to get an evaluation passed, and I wanted to get some wins on my PA accounts and lock in the profit and I was going to not apply any rules, any filters, any analysis, any thought process at all to my trades today. And I'm going to just trust my charts. And if I have a winning chart, I'm taking the trade. And so you can see we had a huge rally in the overnight, coming off the huge up day yesterday. Yesterday was just crazy. And and so the first entry, the first entry I saw using my system is right here, this first trade, and you can see it was a very steep sell-off. And really, I can't say there's any reason. Let me make this bigger. I honestly can't say that there was any reason, if I were to analyze this trade, why I would take this trade. I don't think I would take this trade if I was analyzing anything. So this is a trade I'd probably skip, even though it had a good signal bar, and this trade worked. I am also employing a new strategy for how I capture my scalps. And so I have a auto stop strategy that I am now using. I was only trying it out on evaluations for a little while and in back testing on playback. And now I'm bringing it to my PAs and all my accounts on Apex, because I'm seeing that it can be beneficial. So trade one was evaluation 22 only. Not what I would consider a particularly good trade. At least it does have a good signal bar and a clear 2 legs down. And I was able to capture 15 ticks. And essentially what happens is my profit target is a little bit bigger than the 11 ticks I've been going for. And then when it goes when it gets there, it moves my auto stop to plus 10 ticks. And then as the price continues to progress in my favor, the auto stop will move up by ticks at a time, following it, just trailing it real tightly. And so the idea is, if I could get, in this case, 4 extra ticks on a trade, that helps recover from a loss. It helps to pass quicker. It helps to get to a payout quicker. So first trade was in the books. And again, my whole mentality was this was the account that was the closest to passing, and wanted to get past before it had to renew. So let me switch gears now to the second chart I traded, which was this one that I had up originally. And let me zoom in here as well. And as you can see here, so here's trade number 2. I had this for the bigger picture. Right. So you can see that. So here's trade number 2. Again, not applying any rules of any kind, no analysis. I turn on PA number 2 and evaluation 22. And I've talked a lot recently about engulfing bars that, I've taken a lot of losses on them, and I was trying to stay away from them. But to trade this way and get these number of trades, the second I start applying any kind of thought process, any kind of analysis, any kind of filter at all, that's when I won't be able to take a trade. If I apply it to one trade, I have to apply it to any trade. And then the worse the trades look, the harder they are to take. And so I'm relieving myself. I'm just completely ridding myself of all of that. It's all just trust it and take it. If you get a loss, it's fine. Move on to the next account. That's what I'm doing. And the whole thing, my whole system that I'm trading now, and I refer to it as the BS system because it is completely BS, right? But it's not based on the individual setup. It's not based on the individual trade. It's based on the entirety of the whole chart and the consistency of the whole chart. And my brother thought of this, and he's a genius for it. I really think I've never seen anyone analyze a chart this way. And there's kind of like this mathematical genius to it that puts the odds on my side, I think. and he was really smart for figuring it out. And we've been working together to make it the best system we can make it to use for ourselves. And it's just a really novel idea, and I think it's really cool, and it's working really well for me. So, I can't say it enough. There's no reason why I took this other than it was an entry. I took it, it was engulfing, and it worked. I got 17 ticks on PA2 and evaluation 22. I'm blown away by days like this where it works so well. Trade number 3, I then switched to PA6, evaluation 22. And again, I mean, you look at this, it's another engulfing bar. Not a trade I would take. Like, this is not a trade I would take because you're far from the EMA. This is not a trade I would take because the bars are stacking up and it engulfed. It's working, got 19 ticks. Trade 4, this was like rapid fire at this point on this chart. Trade 4 is the trade where I was done trading my PAs now. I locked in the profit, and this entry was a engulfing entry. And so it engulfed, and then it shot right back up. And now, because I was trading evaluation 23, which is the account that I ultimately blew up, I didn't accept this loss here. My concept was I was trading 8 contracts by this time. Now, and this is different too, because these trades here, and on evaluation 22, it's a 25K account. So I was trading max contracts, but it was for 4 contracts, 1,500 drawdown. So a loss on that is pretty much going to kill the account almost entirely too. Probably take a second trade if you're leaving the stop where it belongs. But in a case like this, but once my PAs were turned off and I was only trading the evaluation, and by the way, this trade 3 is where I did pass evaluation 22. So I locked in the profit on both of my PA accounts, and I locked in the past evaluation. I was actually only I was within like $50, I think, after this trade. I didn't realize it right away. So when I took this trade, I only took 1 contract on evaluation 22 so that if it was a loss, I could recover it. And so on this trade, I wasn't particularly, any trade where I trade my PAs, I wouldn't move my stop. My stop, I would just take my loss in those cases. My PAs, I'm only trading 2 contracts on. So by the time I took this trade, it was an evaluation that was renewing next week. I'm, no matter what, not paying the 80%, only going to get a new account for 90%. So I wasn't concerned if it blew up. It was just all about trying to pass or fail. And so I moved my stop out of the way. It did move against me right away. It would have been a loss, except for this was my strategy today. And then it turned in my favor, and I was able to get 15 ticks out of it. So that turned into a winner. I counted it as a winner. Normally I would count that as a loss, but today it was part of the strategy. So at that point, I then switched charts. And as I switched charts, the old charts started to get a loss. So I never went back to them. I just kept finding new charts throughout the day. So right now at this point, I've traded 4 trades on 2 different charts. And then let me bring up my next chart. All right, here we go. So this is my 3rd chart now for the day. And you can see I traded evaluation 23 again. Again, another engulfing entry. They happen so often, and so many times you get burned by them. So you're missing out on a trade if you just rule them out entirely because you don't want to take engulfing entries. You're missing out on a lot of winners, but you're also missing out on some losers. So trade number 5, this was a great one on evaluation 23, and I got 21 ticks. That was my best capture on a trade today. And at this point, after this trade, I was actually up $1,500 on the account. I only had, or it might have been more, but I was up in terms of the account balance. I was at 51,500 approximately. And you could always go back and watch my live streams. I keep them on, so you can go back and scroll through and find the trades, and you can see any of these trades play out as they happen live. So yeah, I took this trade. This would have been a tempting trade for me if I was using my system. This might be the first maybe trade I would have taken today. So again, I was about 1500. I was thinking, oh, maybe I might pass this evaluation today. That'd be great. Pass two of them today. And then I took this next trade. And as you can see here, this is where I took a loss and blew up evaluation number 23. Now, something funny about this, and again, I didn't care that I blew it up because it was renewing for 80% on Tuesday, and my whole idea is I'm going to replace it with 90% off and save half the price. So at this point, I haven't gotten a payout yet. So it's important for me to manage my actual monetary risk of what my expenses are so far on Apex. And I'm now coming up closer to $2,000 that I'm into Apex. I also get some affiliates. So that offsets some of my expenses, and I do count that towards whether I'm, in for Apex for a certain amount. So if I'm not counting affiliates, I'm in for over 2,000 already. But counting affiliates, I'm not in for 2,000 quite yet. But I will be when I count my new PA fee coming up and these new evaluations. I'll probably be right around the 2,000 mark. So it's important. I need to get that 2,000 max payout first to wipe the slate clean and be debt free as far as Apex goes. And then hopefully my next payout will be pure profit from that point. How much of it, we'll see. So I entered this trade. It literally ticked me in and went directly against me. I moved my stop. It was such a large bar. This bar, because it's a large tick chart, this bar is 78 ticks. So with 8 contracts on, it should have blown up, I think, before it even went below the signal bar, and it never blew up, and it just kept going and going and going. And I kept moving my stop down further and further out of the way. And right around here, just after 8, I got word that I had to go get my daughter up and get her ready for school. So I was moving the stop out of the way, moving it. And it wasn't auto liquefying the account. The account still says active in the RTrader Pro. You can see here it's not red, and it doesn't say it in here, the admin mode. It's in a different window, but it says active, so it's super weird. But if I didn't have to leave, I would have not let it hit my stop. But I just didn't want to, I don't know, I felt weird about being in a trade that was already supposed to be blown up, and I just didn't want to leave it going when I wasn't at the computer. But if you look, it would have come all the way back up here. Actually, if it never auto liquidated, it eventually would have hit my profit target, and then I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if they would have passed me or not. Who knows? But in any case, I took myself out of the trade with my stop here for a minus $10,000 loss. The account 50,000 turned into a 40,000 account. It's not even supposed to be possible on Apex, and who knows? But I already just went and canceled this account, so it will not renew on the next one. And so obviously, I think I've talked about this today, but when a chart gets a loss, I don't trade the chart anymore. I move on and try to find other charts that have no entries that didn't work for the day. So let me find the next chart that I traded, which would be the 4th chart. All right, so here we go. So now you can see this is a much larger tick chart, much less price action. And here's another example of just a trade I would never, ever think to take, applying any sort of price action rules of any kind. Inside bar, already 2 legs up, not clear if it's 1 leg down or if it's going to turn into 2 legs down. Just inside bar after a really bearish bar. But this chart had every entry working on this chart from the opening of the session the day before. And so I took the trade because that's what I'm doing. I did switch to evaluation 29 after blowing up evaluation 23. And this was the last account that I was trying to work on that renews this coming week on Wednesday. So, same mentality, pass or fail, doesn't matter. I do, of course, love to have good stats. So, at this point, I was 5-1, and I wasn't really looking to want to take another loss for the day, but it would have been what it would have been. And this was a huge bar. So if I got entered in this trade and even came all the way down here, I would have got liquefied or liquidated because I was in for 8 contracts. So if you look at the size of this bar, 115 ticks, because this was now a really big tick size chart. And it worked. I got the win. My auto stop strategy was pretty good. I got 20 ticks out of it. And so then on the next chart came my next trade. And so this was the 4th chart I traded. And this was the 5th chart I traded. So you can see this was the last trade I took on that last chart there. And again, another trade I would never think to take, applying any kind of price action rules. But this was an entry above this red bar. It got triggered and it worked. I got only 10 ticks on this one. But it worked on, again, another trade that I would have never taken. So I think out of all the trades that I took today, 8 trades, maybe one of them I would have taken, maybe, and maybe not, because it was engulfing and my rule was to not take engulfing trades. So I probably would have skipped that, and it might have been a 0-0 day today. So a 0-0 day applying rules versus a 7-1 day where I was able to manage to pass an evaluation, blow up an evaluation, make progress on an evaluation, good progress, and as well as make progress on 2 PA accounts. So I think this is the way I need to trade. I did stop there. It was about 10 o'clock by the time this trade was over. It was, about 10 o'clock. I did stick around for a little while. I went, fed my dogs, and came back. And just at this point, I had 2 charts, the last 2 charts that still were good. And even I'm looking right now, this chart and this chart, still no entries that didn't work since then. Each one had 2 more entries. Both would have been winners. So who knows? Maybe I would have passed this evaluation at that point with 2 more winners. I'm not sure. I might have been just shy. But I really just, I have things I need to go do right now. So I need to end this and start my weekend. So really happy with the week. 85-20 overall for the year, 16-3 for the week, 7-1 for the day. This is the way I'm going to trade. I'm going to try to pass this evaluation Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to get some 90%. I'm going to get a 90% to replace this one, and 90% to replace this one, and a 90% to replace this one, and all the others I've got time on. So I think I have 2 weeks on this one. So this is the way I'm going to start trading from now on. And when these promos for a better discount come up, I'll be more aggressive like this on those days. And on days where I could just trade normal, I'll trade, pretty much normal size for the accounts, not overly heavy. And I'm just going to start trying to go through all these accounts and get it done. So that's my progress for the week. 44 minutes. Geez. Hope everyone had a good trading day, good trading week. Enjoy the weekend coming up. I appreciate you guys for checking me out, how I'm doing on my journey here. And again, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a professional. I'm just trying to figure out a way to trade that works for me. And so far, this is the best way I found to trade yet. It's working. We'll see how much longer it can work. If you look at my YouTube videos from the end of last year, I was trading a system that I thought was working, and it worked great for 2 months, and then it blew up in my face, and I blew 4 PAs and a bunch of evaluations, and finished blowing up my live account. And so, I've been here before where I felt really good about things and then it changed. But right now, just for the volume of trades alone, I think this is going to give me my best chance yet. So like and subscribe if you want to see where this ends up going as I move forward. And Apex is the only firm I trade with, and it's the one I recommend. I know there's other ones that other people like. I've never tried anyone else. I started with Apex. I like it, and that's who I recommend, and I'm sticking with it. So you can use this code or any other if you want to choose to start your journey, or if you're continuing your journey and you want to help me out by using my code. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and be back at it on Monday.